Injured Carvajal might trigger transfer rumors on Trent. What's your take on that? I think he's like a perfect Madrid player. I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to agree with you, Thorin, on that. Trent has Madrid DNA. I think Trent is a unfortunately, I think Trent is he has the Madrid kind of swagger to him, the Madrid vibe to him. I can totally see that move happening. Especially and I've said it all the like constantly, right? That if there's anybody we should be worried about, it's Trent because Madrid actually need someone in his position. And they've needed someone in his position for a while because we know Carvajal is getting up there in age. He's not going to continue to be able to play at the highest level and things like that. They're going to want a successor for him. And now that Carvajal is injured and it looks like it's a season ending injury, they're going to push. And for FSG, and we know for FSG, Michael Edwards, we know that money talks with them. We know that money talks with them. And that if Madrid come in with $100 million offer or $120 million offer for Trent, I see Michael Edwards taking that. I can see Michael Edwards and FSG taking that deal if they come in at 100 or they come in at 120 or 115, 110. I can see them taking that deal, especially because Trent is an all profit type of deal. He's from our academy, right? And that's kind of the model that Michael Edwards likes to operate in, right? Of we buy low and sell high and those types of things. And then Liverpool Truth TV, welcome in. Salah and VVD will leave in the next 2 years. And if they sign new contract, and even if they sign new contracts, it's true. I'm pretty sure the club already has a contingent plan in place if the three had to leave by the end of the season. I agree. I agree 100%. And then Reese Graham, Trent can be shifty. Fans will FSG out all they want if he leaves, but frankly, if you're not 100% down for Merseyside, the monster will be happy to replace you. Exactly, 100%. Would be a dream if all three stayed. I hope all three stayed, but I don't know now. I really don't know, and I think we get two out of the three to stay, and the two that stay, I think, is Mo and VVD. My personal opinion, I think Trent does end up making a move to Madrid, especially with how things have kind of played out in the whole Carvajal situation. But I pray and hope that our hometown town boy, and he's one of my favorite players on the team, Trent stays. Trent, if you somehow see this, please stay. Please stay. For a fullback, 100 million is miracle money. It's true. And I can totally, especially because Madrid need a fullback now. Now they need a fullback. I mean, obviously Camavinga can play there, and they have some cover there. But I think they would want a world class talent that already has ties to the club in Jude, and they've already shopped in England. It's been successful lately. I can see them going back to England, come shopping for Trent, and trying to push FSG's hand and say, hey, this is your generational talent. No one has ever paid this amount of money for a fullback. What do you think? And I see FSG and Michael Edwards taking that deal. If you're Liverpool, I don't know. Because I remember before. I used to say, you give Trent whatever he's asking for. He becomes the new talisman of the team. He's the new Mo Salah of the team, where he's the highest paid player. You give him whatever you want. But now I don't know. I actually don't know. Is right back a position where you break the bank for, where you make your right back the highest paid player on the team? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you give Trent a new contract? And you make him the highest paid player on the team? Because I believe the reason why the contract situation hasn't moved forward, I think that's why, is because Trent wants more money than Mo. And you know FSG, they had a hard time giving Mo the contract. Edwards wasn't even around when Mo got that contract. Like, Edwards had to get out of the equation before Mo got that contract. Do you give that contract to Trent? Do you give him 250 a week? Do you make him the highest paid player on the team? Do you give him 300? And I know that's what he wants. And he's using that Madrid position to kind of prop that up and get more money. I know that's kind of what he's doing. But we have Connor Bradley waiting in the wings. That's my thing. That's my thing. And then happily said, you can't overpay for a fullback. It sets you up for major problems with wage negotiations. It does. Because then you're gonna have all the other defenders wanting that type of money. You're gonna have Konate saying, well, if Trent got 250, I want 200. Right? If Trent's getting 250 a week, I want 200 a week. I know I'm not as good as Trent, but I'm going to be your best center back after VVD leaves. That gives him more leverage. So I don't know. You have Connor Bradley waiting in the wings, and I think Connor Bradley has the potential to be a great right back and maybe a top class right back. I mean, the run of form that he was on last season, I was like, man, he could be a generational talent. When Trent was out, he was playing that good. And Trent is regarded as a generational talent. I see you, Brian. He is. So it's just like, do you break the wage structure for a generational talent like that? But he's a right back. I don't know. My thing with VVD, Salah, and TAA, it's hard to develop a new era while holding on to the last one. I think VVD and Salah can be helpful moving forward, but only at the right price. And it's true. It's very true. And fans intend on holding on tightly rather than letting go lightly. Yeah. I think you got to let Trent go. And you get money for the star player that you're letting leave. For the first time in FSG's history, we should get a price tag for these players, any of the players that we end up letting go. We can't keep letting our star players go for free. We just can't. We can't do it. LFC have absolutely no choice. This is, in my opinion, FSG's fault for not having a proper sporting director and letting the contract go down to the final year. 100%. 100%. They should have already, if the long-term plan was for them to stay, I think they would have already had contracts signed. I think the long-term plan was not for them to stay. But now that they are performing again, it's a new manager. They're hitting heights that they've never hit before. VVD is back in what looks like prime VVD. Salah is back in what looks like back at his best. Now I think FSG is like, oh, do we give them one more year? Do we give them 2 more years? I don't know. And I think now that FSG is like having second thoughts on how they want to kind of hold up their wage structure and how they do things. And then money is ruining the game, drives me crazy. When I played, I had to pay £1 to play, right? These players, these boys, they want the bag, man. They want money. They want the money. They don't want to do this for free. And Egg says, you'll never replace TAA's or Trent's passing ability, but we can get by without it. You won't. And that's the question. That's the question I want to ask you guys. Is Trent's on-field ability, I guess for lack of a better word, is it overrated? Is it overrated? Like, do you need the cross-field pass? Do you need the beautiful diagonal across the park? Do you need that? And could you replace that with maybe a more out-and-out right back that can just bomb up and down and create an overlap for Salah to kind of bring some of the pressure off of him so he can get more space to shoot and create? Can you replace the assists that Trent gets? I think so. I think you can. I think Sabo is more than capable to take over set piece duties from Trent if Trent decides to leave. I think he is a better set piece taker than Trent. In my personal opinion, I think Maka is actually a better set piece taker than Trent is. But they don't get to take the free kicks because Trent has the hierarchy in the team, right? That's why Maka's not on corners or Sabo's not on corners or Maka's not on free kicks and Sabo's not on free kicks, who I wholeheartedly believe are better free kick takers than Trent is. Especially Maka. So a lot of the things that you lose with Trent, can you replace those things? I think you can with the personnel that we have right now. And then Salah is currently on 350. We can take those wages and offer it to the next best right winger. You can take 300, bruh. maybe even 250, and give that to a top class right winger. You really can. Another thing about Trent, does he want to work this hard under slot? Like, does he actually? Bro out there doing a lot, and I love him for it. But we can work without but we can, but man, I love him, but we can buy a workhorse right back. It's true. If Trent wants to jog in Spain, let him. Brian says, yes, you do. It causes defenses issues. It does, man. It does. I love Trent, bro. He's my second favorite player on the team. Let's get that very clear. Trent is my second favorite player on the team behind Szoboszlai. Before Szoboszlai came, he was my favorite player on the team. I thought he was the guy that was going to take us to the whole nother level, be the captain, be our modern day Steven Gerrard. But I'm not loving the way that not just FSG, but also Trent is going about the whole contract situation. I think he could have easily have gone and said, you know what? I'm staying. My intent, and come out and say that, my intent is to be Liverpool captain and to stay here as long as I possibly can. And it's going to be up to the owners and my team to come with the deal. But my intentions are clear. I want to stay and be Liverpool captain for the rest of my career. It's very easy to say that. Stevie did it. John Terry did it. Lampard did it. All these greats that, you know what I mean? And obviously Lampard eventually moved on. But all these greats that were linked to other teams, they went out and they said, no, I'm staying, right? His passing is unsurpassed, but we can get by with better movement and passing interaction. Szoboszlai looked great in the first few games. Unfortunately, he's not good against low blocks. LFC Truth TV, Michael Edwards signed Virgil, Allison, and Salah. With him back, we already signed Marmoush or Marmardashvili. Hughes may be a deal maker now, but Edwards knows how to do business and is still the main man. Let's hope that he is actually spearheading a lot of these negotiations. And then Brian said Trent's family dynamic is in effect here. His parents are in finance. Yeah, they want that money. They're not going to let him get sign another contract without being compensated for what they believe Trent is worth. And I believe he's a generational talent. I believe he does deserve that money. But coming from FSG's brain and Michael Edwards' brain, I feel like it's very hard to see Trent get offered 250 or 300. I think it's just so hard. And then nobody is bigger than the club. Always devastated when a big name leaves, but we rarely suffer. It's true. And 9 times out of 10, the players that end up moving on, they don't thrive after leaving Liverpool. And I saw something that Gary Neville said that I thought was very interesting, is that, like, do you spend that much on a right back when you can just develop one from the academy? Right? Right backs and fullbacks are one of those positions that you can develop. You can bring in a really good right back and a really good fullback from the academy. I believe Steven Gerrard was a right back when he first came through, right? It's one of those positions that if you have a player that can get up and down the field, that's decent enough defensively and can pass the ball very, very well, they can be a serviceable right back for you. Or you bring in another center back and you almost playing like a back three sometimes, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Trent. I think Trent is the biggest question mark. I do think that Salah and VVD sign contracts. I don't think we have to worry about those two. I think they will eventually sign contracts, especially VVD. I'm the most confident about VVD signing another contract. But Trent is the one that I worry about and could go in January.